One of America's worst men is on the verge of losing his job and possibly also his marriage. This is Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton. He was impeached by the Texas State House over the weekend, which 1 means that all of the worst Republicans are fighting, and 2 means he's been temporarily suspended from his job. He was impeached for taking bribes from this guy, Nate Paul. Nate Paul is a real estate developer who's under investigation by the FBI. Ken Paxton apparently gave Nate Paul FBI files relating to that investigation and also hired a lawyer for him who he allowed to work inside the Attorney General's office. Then his staff was like, that's a little sus, and tipped the FBI off to what Paxton was doing, and then Paxton fired the staff members. The staff members sued him, and now he's seeking $3.3 million taxpayer dollars to settle the lawsuit. But the fun part is that this was a bribe, so here's what Ken Paxton got in return. This is his wife, State Senator Angela Paxton. In 2019, Ken was having an affair. Angela found out and assumed that it had stopped. But apparently it was still going on in 2020 because the reason why he was doing all of this stuff for Nate Paul was so that Nate Paul would hire Ken's mistress for a job in Austin, where the Texas State Capitol and Attorney General's office is, so that he wouldn't have to drive to San Antonio to see her. At the same time, Nate Paul was helping Ken and Angela renovate their home, he might have also been footing the bill. Now that the House has impeached Ken Paxton, the Senate gets to hold hearings and have a vote on whether or not he permanently loses his job. And his wife is State Senator Angela Paxton.
So, back in the day, jingle, 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 back in the day, before the back rooms were a thing, okay? Jingle, jingle, pay attention, I said your favorite word, the back rooms, okay? The back rooms, dingle, dangle, dingle, dangle.
Jerry Springer reading his will, and he left everything to his secret black kids.
Shame. And it is still a drop in the bucket of the immeasurable amount of pain I have caused each of you. My wife learned of your arrival, Misha, and demanded that I cut you off completely. I tried to reason with her, but she threatened to expose my infidelity and my illegitimate children. And I was such a coward. I'm a coward even now for making this video instead of making the effort to meet you. I am ashamed and disappointed with myself. I didn't know how to stand to my truth and stand up to my wife. I did, however, manage to stand up for you, John and Misha. While Joan kept me away from you with the threat of exposure, she did not keep me from providing for you. You see, I told her that if I had to accept a life without you, she would not get a red cent of my fortune, and that you would be named equally in my will in the event of my passing. But with everything going on in the world right now, I realize that I have to go a step further. Jordan, Megan, I leave our home here in New Orleans to you to do with whatever you want. The rest of my estate, my properties in Mississippi, Georgia, South Carolina, my bank accounts, investment portfolios, all liquid and intangible assets, everything, all of it will go to my children, John and Misha. Girls, all your life I've been telling you to make your millions, and I hope you have. If not, you can always sell the house and split the profit. But my entire estate belongs to John and Misha, and it is up to them to do with it what they will. It is truly the least I can do, as I and this country have failed you. And hopefully one day, America will do what's right as well. That's it, Brad.
My father?
What a prick!
Unbelievable.
This is a lot to process.
I guess Black lives really do matter.
Seems so, Miss Williams. Seems so. Let's get...
The life hack school never taught you. Do you have a problem with grease when you're cooking? Well, try this cooking hack.
What?
Never deal with grease.
Mexico has really strict gun laws. Very strict gun laws. The reason why the cartels have the guns is because of America and their gun laws. As we go through this election cycle, just be aware that all 6 of the Republican presidential candidates now support sending in the U.S. military into Mexico without their permission. That's called an invasion, like what Putin's doing in Ukraine. This has nothing to do with fentanyl and the border, and everything to do with the lithium mine that they found. If you are not aware, Mexico recently found the world's largest lithium deposit, lithium that builds batteries, and the uber-rich billionaire Republican donors wanted control of it, and Mexico nationalized it. They nationalized it. This has nothing to do with the border and everything to do with the lithium. But you think Republicans would never do that? Iraq has entered the chat. That's it. That's the TikTok.
Here's a tutorial for the ladies on how you should greet your husband every day when he gets home from work. Okay, ready? Do you get it? Okay, good job.
It's another rainy day in the South. Go out and be someone's sunshine today.
This woman is a prime example of how easily you can deceive people on your social media. This is Farron Jill Hudson, 35 years old, from Alabama. And the story starts in 2021 when her husband was arrested on 5 counts of possessing obscene material with a child under the age of 17. Later that year, he was rearrested for 76 counts of possession of child porn. Now, at the time, he claimed that police had planted these images on his phone, these videos, and there was an investigation undertaken. But when police investigated James's phone, they found evidence that linked his wife, Jill, to these crimes. Yes, Jill, the happy-go-lucky TikToker talking about God and sunshine. So after this new evidence came to light, new charges were added and Jill was arrested. And these new charges included incest, essay of a child, and production of obscene materials with a child under the age of 17. So during her interrogation, after she was arrested, Jill was shown a still image from one of these child porn videos that she allegedly helped to produce. And she confirmed to detectives and investigators that indeed it was her and another child in that video. Apparently, Jill confirmed that it was her in the video performing an obscene act with a child. But after she was arrested, Jill was stupid enough to call a family member, and on the phone call from jail, she asked her family member to go check her devices and destroy evidence. So obviously authorities were listening into that phone call. They were able to get search warrants for all of her other electronics, and they're undergoing a search of her property right now. It's just wild. You wouldn't imagine that that woman who posted that video would be accused of doing such horrific things with children. And it just goes to show that these predators are everywhere, so we have to stay vigilant and keep our children safe. That should be our #1 priority in this nation.
It's like 11 o'clock at night, and I've already made us dinner, and I think, did you have 2 plates? Yeah. I had 2 plates too. And then we ordered a pizza. We're gonna die of high cholesterol.
Diabetes.
There's no one else I'd rather die with. Cheers, bitch.
Love you.
Love you. Hi, babe.
Yeah.
Do you like me or do you like me?
Are we doing this again?
Yeah.
I like you.
Like or like a little bit like?
I like you.
We should have got wings.
Yeah. Maybe next time.
So Lucifer was the devil, right? And he got kicked out of heaven because he tried to be like God, or was it because he didn't want to bow down to Adam? Honestly, it depends which of the Abrahamic descendants you ask, so let's get into it. First off, the name Lucifer appears once in the entire Bible, and the whole Christian idea of him falling from heaven comes from that one line in the Old Testament. You probably know the line. Isaiah 14:12. How you are fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the dawn. How you are cut down to the ground, you who laid the nations low. That's it, that's the whole line. And you know what's really funny about it? It's not about the devil. It's about the king of Babylon. Because here's the thing. There was no capital D devil or capital S Satan in the Old Testament. A devil or a Satan, or in Hebrew a shaitan, was an adversary, someone who opposed the dominant order, or the subjective order of the Bible's protagonists. Satan doesn't become a proper noun until the New Testament. And even in the New Testament, it only appears like 4 times, and not once in John, I think. It's too late to Google it now. But the notion of him falling from heaven is brought back in Luke, where Jesus says, I saw Satan fall like lightning from heaven. And that's it. That is all we get in the Bible about Satan falling from heaven. But in the Quran, Satan does have a name, his own name, Iblis. Now, the etymology of this word is a little mysterious. Some people say it comes from the Arabic root bilis for despair, while some think it might be a transliteration of the Greek diabolos or diablos. Diablos, Iblis. Makes sense, honestly. But the Quran story about Satan's fall is much more colorful than the Christian story, and it's referred to and repeated several times throughout the Quran. And essentially what happens is that God creates Adam. He's super happy about it. So he calls in all his angels, and he's like, prostrate to my wonderful creation, Adam. And so they were all, yes, hype for Adam. All of them except Iblis. So God was watching them, and he was like, excuse me, Iblis, why aren't you prostrating when I commanded you to? And Iblis is like, because I'm better than him. I was made out of fire. He is made out of clay. And Allah was like, I will not have you test my authority in front of all these angels and my new creation. Out of paradise. Now. Fun times, huh? Now, the Quran was written in the 600s. And funny enough, sometime around the 3rd century, there was written a Jewish apocryphal story called The Life of Adam and Eve. And in this story, Satan tells us about how he was cast down from heaven. Technically, he tells Adam, because it's all his fault. He's basically like, screw you, Adam, you got me kicked out of my glory. And Adam's like, what? Bro, what are you talking about, and who even are you? And then Satan is like, don't you remember when God wanted us to bow down to you? I refused. Because why would I worship you? You're inferior to me, and younger. And I let God know that if anything, you should be worshiping me. And then Adam is like, Mona Daddy, help. And Satan was banished. Oh, and by the way, there's no capital L Lucifer either. Lucifer is the Latin translation of Helel, Venus.
Listen. I had to make a follow-up video to the Backshot Breeze video that I made. A lot of y'all women don't know what y'all Backshot Breeze smell like. Now I know there's gonna be some women that say, oh, I'm clean, that can never be me. But you don't know any. You know who really knows what that breeze smells like? Us. It's literally in our nostrils. And sometimes there is a smell. And a lot of us guys, we're not willing to let that ruin our moment. Or yours. That little smell test that y'all do when y'all put your fingers down there and smell your hands, that does nothing. That's not an accurate representation of what's going on. Sometimes, just sometimes, it may not smell like you think it smells. Not saying that it's a bad smell, but you're already used to your body odor, so you wouldn't know the difference. To you, it's gonna smell normal. It's gonna smell good. Again, not saying that it doesn't smell good, but the only person who know what that true Backshot Breeze smell like is our nostrils. Respectfully, of course.
What is something you found out late in life that you should have known earlier, but you just didn't?
How to convert ounces, tablespoons, and teaspoons. I am a teacher, and a student / her mom taught me this trick, and I will never forget it, and neither will you. Once upon a time, there was the ounce house. The ounce house had 2 tables. Each table had 3 tea cups. Okay, the ounce house, of course, stands for 1 ounce. The table stands for tablespoons, and the teacups stand for teaspoons, okay? In 1 ounce, there are 2 tablespoons. In 1 ounce, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 teaspoons. In 1 tablespoon, there is 1, 2, 3 teaspoons. Now you will never forget it. If you don't follow me already, I give daily free teaching tips. Hit that follow button.
You just left a small town where you banged some fat bitch in your sleeper cab.
Oh, God.
With a belly full of biscuits and gravy and a big hit of methamphetamines, you're fueled up.
You got a cool CB handle.
Sure, you're tough. That chrome death machine could easily kill that family next to you in the Honda Civic.
Yesterday, my husband was finishing the gate on our brand new fence, so I opened the window and said, babe, you look so hot when you're out there doing man shit, sawing wood, and he didn't make a comment about his wood. So I'm pretty sure that's his way of telling me he wants a divorce. Maybe he's sick, I don't know.
Call my mom real quick.
Hi.
Hey. Hey,
How's it going?
Everything's fine. I just wanted to ask you real quick. Tomorrow, are you free?
Yes, I am.
Can you come over and clean the house?
Really?
Yeah. Angie's
Sure.
gonna be at work, and she really doesn't clean as good as you do. So, I was just thinking if you.
You are.
And she doesn't even buy all the cool like cleaning supplies that you buy. What?
Are you being serious?
It's my mom. Just shh. Can you do that, Mom?
You. Hey.
What time does she leave?
She leaves at 10. She leaves at 10. So like you can just get down to business and like do all the things that she doesn't do.
I'm pretty sure he's joking with you right now.
It's not a joke.
I clean all the time. I clean all the time. That's
She
all
try-
I do is clean.
She tries to clean, but she doesn't do it as good as you, Mom.
You are.
Can I do your baseboards? I'll do your baseboards.
Do the baseboards? Yeah, I don't think she's ever touched a baseboard. I always do that.
There's something else I'm never gonna touch. Okay, I think I'm pretty sure he's joking. I'm pretty sure he's joking with me. So you
No,
don't.
this is no joke.
You don't need to come
This
over.
is serious business. I'm talking bathrooms, living room, vacuuming, baseboards,
I do
kitchen cabinets, like
all
everything.
of those things. I do. I literally. I
Again,
just cleaned the pantry out yesterday.
She tries to do it, but it's just not as good as you, Mom.
Oh, yeah. Well, I can do it in 2 hours. I can get it all done. I guess.
You should see the look on her face right now.
This is a joke. This is a joke.
What does BLM stand for?
Bang local MILFs.
I like my women like I like my trucks. 35 years or older. Hell, they also come with questionable reliability, just the way I like them. Shit, if they ain't got a little hail damage in the tailgate, I don't want it.
You know I'm surgical with this bitch, Jake. How you want it, dog? Huh? Closed casket? You remember that fool in the wheelchair? How you think he got there?
Where should you keep your gun at if you have a kid in the house?
Okay, let's go back. How old is your child when you teach your child firearm safety? Okay, let's just say you keep your gun in the safe, right? You can send a little lock box right next to the bed, okay? Middle of the night, boom, you hear somebody kicking your door in, they're hauling ass to your room, ready to spray you up. How long is it gonna take you to get that gun in the safe? I can leave my gun on the counter if my child already knows firearm safety. Now, go back to my question. How old should a child be before we teach them firearm safety? Garbage. How old were you when your parents taught you not to stick your finger in the light socket, touch the stove, play with knives? You couldn't even talk. Barely could walk. Perfect example. Some stuff you just didn't play with, right? Mommy and daddy taught you look left, look right, look left before you walk across the street. Did you play with traffic? Some shit you just not gonna do, right?